Now, ladies and gentlemen, there has been one story that is currently gone viral on social media, and it is the story in regards to the recent said abduction of Kenyan activist Mwambili Mwagodi, who said that he was abducted in Tanzania, but yesterday he was discovered dumped in Mombasa County. Now, this abduction of one Mwambili has turned hands roll. I mean, it has turned tongues rolling, as many are currently saying that this was a staged abduction and it didn't bear no fruit. Now, when I speak about this abduction or staged abduction in Kenya, I remind you about a month ago, we had a case of one Ndiangui, a young man that was alleged to have been abducted for uh, spreading or creating the timetable for the Saba Saba demonstration. Now, the young man disappeared for a couple of days, then reappeared out of nowhere. And in the court of law, he alleged that he had gone to hiding uh, due to the fear of abduction by the police. But the question that many were asking, how did you go into hiding and then allowed a whole nation to turn chaotic as people were seeking for your release from captivity, yet you yourself, you are somewhere hiding and that you are safe? Which means that the guy was trying to buy some sympathy from Kenyans. And that is why the LSK lawyers, together with Martha Karua, withdrew from representing the Angui in court the other day. Now, there is this other case of one Mwambili Mwagodi, who has been an activist and a voice of dissent when it comes to matters revolving around the government of President William Ruto. Now we are being told that his abduction was a staged one, and Kenyans on the social media, more so on platform X, are currently trading the hashtag staged abduction as number 2 in the Republic of Kenya. Now, the issue of staging this abduction, first it came to my attention when one Maverick Aoko went ahead to reveal how Mwambili Mwagodi had staged his abduction and why Kenyans should not take him serious in matters his own abduction. Now, getting down to what Aoko said yesterday, she says, I did not comment on Mwambili Mwagodi thing because he was not abducted. He was busy cheating on his old wife in Dar es Salaam. Si ameoa jike with a teenage son. This is the uh, this is the TL elder that said, I am the one who wrote for Sudi petition to impeach Gashagwa. I didn't want to talk, ndio isionekana I'm gawking over his calamity. The same way I told you Diangui was not abducted. Check my timeline. Why do you think Karua and LSK are pulled off? But I'm glad Kenyans are misusing DCI the way DCI has been misusing them. It's called aura for aura. That is what Aoko said. And these has really got tongues waging as people try to understand. Now, if people have turned out to start saying that, to start faking their own abduction, then what should we say or what should we expect when we have real abductions that are going on? Which means nobody will believe even if somebody is really abducted. Are we together? And that means it's high time we start thinking. Aoko also says kuna cartel ya dollar activists. They can concoct anything for relevance and check. Mwambili Mwagodi's sister works for BBC colleague wa bibi ya Boniface Mwangi. That Kiparangoto got Mwambili was not abducted. You remember Boni sued TZ for 130 million juzi. Basi they used Mwagodi ndio ionekane wako serious and that TZ is truly abducting activist. I am not on social media to place anyone. I state things as they are. Mwambili has worked in that hotel for all this while. Why abduct him now? Dink. And I really see some truth or some sense in what Aoko says. But let me say one thing. If Kenyans start faking bringing out narratives that they're being abducted, yet they're faking their own or staging their own abductions, when cases or real genuine cases of abduction surfaces, then how will we differentiate about fake abductions from the real abductions? And that means there are people that will suffer the consequences of these actions that these people have started playing. These people have started pretending that they are that they are being abducted, yet in real sense nobody is abducting them. Are we together? So what does this tell you? It tells you that it's high time people of the Republic of Kenya realize that there is difference in activism. There are activists that means what is well for this country. There are activists that means what is good for this country. And those are people that, have forged a path for demonstrations, have called upon the government to act on certain matters that means a lot to the people of this republic. And then there is people like Akina Mwangodi together with Akina Deangui, who are paid activists that through their charade of faking their own abduction, they want to garner sympathy and tarnish the name of the president to a point that the president will be forced, to react or address certain issues. The family of Mwagodi yesterday spent the day outside not yesterday, Juzi, they spent their day outside Kilimani police station seeking to file a missing person report or seeking to file a report on the abduction of their son. But the police refused. Due to what? They had called different organizations, different police departments in the country and realized that the Kenyan police had nothing to do with Mwagodi's abduction. And to read what Kenyans are saying on Twitter in regards to these fake staged abductions narrative, because the staged abduction narrative is taking a new turn as Kenyans try to, look at it in a different view. I see Siasa movement saying, shame on BBC Africa for implying staged abduction without due diligence. This isn't journalism. It is aiding manipulation. These false narratives weaponize sympathy, breed chaos, and silence real victims. And do better. Pesa mfukoni, ukweli itoke. Let me ask you. You are telling us that, they speak for the people of this republic. But let me tell you, you can't say that BBC is wrong. Yet, this guy, when you look at his story, it doesn't add up. Mr. Pius Kanodia says, this story is not adding up. He claims that he walked for about 60 kilometers from Kenyan Tanzanian border. His phone was active throughout. Why was he in communication with Hussein Khalid only and not his family to assure them that he was only acting and that he was okay? But again, every time people stage their abduction, the script is usually the same. Wheelchair, fake tears, stories of being injected with strange fluids. Remember, there was another case also where the DCI alleged that one Juja MP, George Koimburi, had staged his own abduction. So this is becoming a narrative that now it's upon time we deal with real issues affecting the nation and not people who are, seeking sympathy through fake narratives. Kigan K. Koech says, it raises serious questions how Khalid Hussein is always on site, media ready at every incident. These scenes aren't spontaneous. They are likely stage managed with him at the center of the dollar activist cartel. Now, let's speak about the dollar activist cartel. There are activists in the Republic of Kenya who are making millions of dollars out of activism. And this activism breeds chaos in the Republic of Kenya. Tunaelewana? And that is when you see one of them actually being kidnapped, you see that out of the blues, they all know do you know that why the story of Mwambili Mwagodi is not adding up? They're telling us that he walked for 60 kilometers from the Kenyan Tanzanian border to Mombasa. But the guy had his phone on him. The phone was active, but he never informed his family. Only he was in communication with Hussein Khalid, Who went to pick him in Mombasa? Hussein left Nairobi to Mombasa to pick Mwagodi and take him to the hospital. Instead of him contacting his family, he contacted a fellow activist. I mean, what for? If you are hurt or you are tortured by the people that abducted you, the first thing that you would do after release is seek medical attention, and more so let your family know that you are safe. But he didn't do that, and that is what raises a lot of questions. For now, that is what's trending. Leave a comment in the comment section. Tell me what you think about it. This is the Kenyan Daily Report.